And good morning and welcome, or maybe good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're calling in from. Today, we have a very exciting topic. I'm so excited to share this one with you. Grow your business with AI. And the reason I'm excited to share this topic is I think it's the most important topic that we can be putting our attention on as business owners. I don't think there's any conversation that's more important than this one right now. Now, maybe a year and a half ago, I read this book by a guy called Mo Goodalt, and the book was called Scary Smart. And what Mo outlined in that book is he said that by 2029, AI will be as smart as the smartest human that we have on the planet. And that by 2049, that our brains will be like that of a fly to AI's brains will be like that of Einstein. It's going to grow that rapidly and that quickly. So it's not something that we can choose to ignore. It's something that's going to be here and it's something that we need to embrace and work with. Now, the interesting thing, he made that prediction that AI will be as smart as the most smart human by 2029. But in recent weeks, we've had the AI pass the Turing test, which is kind of telling us that it is getting to that stage probably even much quicker than we expect or than we think. So this is going to be the most important topic. Now, we've got an intimate group today. So we can probably keep things quite interactive. The more interactive we can be in this, the better. So I'd love for you to be typing into the chat box, answering, asking questions and being engaged. So just so I know that you are able to do that and you're here and you can hear me, just give me a yes in the chat box or a thumbs up or something of that nature. Just I want to make sure we keep this interactive. I want to make sure everyone's got it. Vanessa, thank you so much. Shirley, great to see you. Welcome. Awesome. Okay, great. We're off and running. Now, I'm going to give you as much as I can over this next hour, and I'm going to go like really quick because there's there's so much in this area that I want to give you and want you to have. And this is something that's going to help you no matter where you're at in your career. If you're the business owner, the business leader, this is going to really help your business grow and scale. So a little bit about myself and my background. My role, I'm a profit maximization expert. I spend all my time and energy with business owners, helping them to make more profitability, to reduce their stress, to get more time back in their lives so they can really live life in the way that they want. And I know all of that really comes from, having a clear strategy. And so part of helping with that is I've really become proficient with AI and understanding how we can use that in businesses to improve results and get better outcomes. Okay, so I describe myself as an AI champion rather than AI expert. I think every business owner should be leaning into these tools and using these tools. One other thing about me is I'm a top 5% podcaster, which means I get to interview some really amazing thought leaders. I've interviewed quite a lot of thought leaders on topics of AI, people who are building real life tools out there in the marketplace and implementing them. And I get to interview some amazing leaders. This week we have the Admiral of the US Navy joining us for an interview. So if you haven't been on the podcast before, it's called Leading to Profit, and I'd highly recommend that you jumping on there and joining that. As just as a first bonus for today. Now, my big promise from today's session, then, properly integrated AI will make you more profitable, productive, and more powerful. Now, why do I care about that? Because it's going to help you make more money, get back your time, and be more impactful as a leader. I'd like you to imagine a team that doesn't sleep, that doesn't get sick, doesn't get upset, avoid tasks, fear, doesn't get fearful, rejection, can consistently follow up, and in many cases can be free or inexpensive. This is the opportunity that's right in front of us for the people who are kind of implementing this now. So this is really for business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, and leaders. And today, this really isn't for anyone who has a fixed mindset, so they're not willing to learn and try new things. It's not for anyone who's not willing to implement and test. And it's not for anyone who wants a get rich quick scheme, and really don't care about delivering value to your clients. Everything I'm sharing, it's for you to deliver value and help people. So what are we going to learn today? Number one, I'm going to share with you how to capture and convert more leads. We're then going to share how to make fast and inexpensive promotional images. I'm also going to share about video editing software that got me an additional 50,000 views in 2 months. I'm going to talk to you about how AI is going to help you save time and get more done, how to make your content available in other languages, how to improve your business model with AI, and much, much more. Okay, now the value of today's session is going to be immense, and at the end, I'm going to give you some opportunities to really go deeper in this as well. Now, really there's four key areas. I'm going to show you AI tools that will transform your work and your teams. I'm going to give you four key AI processes that will help you personally transform. And I'm going to show you some implementation entry points for transformation. And I'm also going to show you the roadmap to AIify your business and your team. So just tell me in the chat window, which of these four are the most interesting to you? Is it the AI tools that will help you improve your work? Is it the AI processes that will help you personally transform? Is it the implementation entry points? Like where do you begin? Or is it the roadmap to AIify? And yes, Vanessa, I am recording this and I will be able to send you out the recording and or the notes. So Lynn, great to see you. And yes, the process for you, speed, accuracy, privacy, security. Yeah, Riley, I think that's super important. And with AI, there's definitely some concerns around there. Kevin, implementation. Mike, the four key tools. Okay, wonderful. Roadmap and AI tools, entry points. Great. Yes, Sam for the win. Yeah, all of them. They're all super important. So to get the most from this, focus. I appreciate we can have so many things going on. There may be, emails flying, calls flying, text messages. Just try and put all of that into the background for now. Just stay focused on this. Participate as much as you can. The more you engage, the more you're going to get out of this. Take notes. But yeah, of course, I will share the video recording later for sure. Now, I've had the privilege of presenting on 11, in 11 countries now, four continents, tens of thousands of participants. I've worked mostly one-on-one with people, but I do get to present to some of these large organizations. That was me at Tony Robbins' event and some events in Europe and in Asia. Now, I get invited to speak at these events because I'm considered one of the leading profit maximization experts in the world, definitely in Australia. And by being in these rooms and being connected with other excellent entrepreneurs, I get lots of insights and ideas and I see the trends in advance. And particularly with this AI, I'm connected to a team of seven researchers internationally. These are AI experts and they're in Israel and Germany and the US. And so because of my connection with these communities, here's how I'm managing to get these insights and stay ahead of what's happening with AI. Over the years, I've been trusted by Tony Robbins, to coach his top clients, and my training with accounting and finance. I've been able to help some large organizations like Qantas and Airbus and Intel Corporation, and some amazing leaders at some amazing organizations have said some very kind things about me. So why you should be listening? Let's get right into why you need to take action on AI right now. So over half of the world's businesses are exploring and implementing AI. Okay. And AI is growing businesses at shockingly faster rates. We're finding that the clients that we work with are growing 37% faster. Now, why do you need to take action now? Because of those businesses that are implementing, only 2% are implementing at the rate they need to serve their market. Okay. So most businesses are falling behind. And my question is like, is your business falling behind? Are you in that 98%? I think, a lot of the people are in that place, which is why I created this masterclass so that we can really help you be empowered and make more profit and time in your life. Now, why is implementation so slow? The reason it's so slow, and I get asked this question quite a lot. The reason is number one, most business owners are overwhelmed, right? They're overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. There's so many different tools. I checked out this website. It's called there'sanaIforthat.com. And you're more than welcome to check out the website, there'sanaIforthat.com. And they said there are currently 17,080 AIs. Now, I took that screenshot in November when I ran that presentation. And then in March, I updated it. I went back and looked again. So 3-4 months later, and there were 31,000 AI tools. So in that short period of 4 months, it almost doubled the number of AI tools that are available, which is why people are particularly, overwhelmed by everything that's going on. The other reason implementation is so slow is that people have no idea of what's possible. Because it's such a new technology, they can't actually see what is available and what's going to happen, and how they can use it, which is what we're going to share with you today. Some people are scared of the systemic impact. CEOs and founders, employees, they're worried, how this may impact the entire system. Will it be complex? Will it be expensive? Okay. Some are very concerned about, the human experience. What's going to impact, how's it going to impact my people? And I can completely understand that. And then, of course, people are also concerned, because change can feel effortful and very expensive, right? And I can kind of get it. Why learn something new? There's so many things going on in your life and your business, your family, your clients, and then you got to do all this extra stuff with AI as well. So I completely get it. Now, it doesn't matter what the reason is. If you want to be able to harness the power of AI, there are plenty of people right now saying, I don't care what it's going to take. I'm going to be the first. I'm going to be ahead of this. I'm going to capitalize on this opportunity right now because there's massive money, massive opportunities changing hands. And so when you take advantage of that, you're going to be the one that's going to get the advantage and the opportunity in the marketplace. So maybe let me know, I want you to think about real quick, maybe drop me in the chat window, which one of these have been the reasons, that have been challenging for you? And do you feel overwhelmed? Is it that you have no idea of what's possible? Are you scared of the impact? Are you resistant to, how it may impact the human? Um, are you concerned that change can feel effortful and expensive? Which one of those? Just drop in the chat window. That would be great. All right. So Ross, thank you. You need a better idea of how to. All of the above. Hard to pick the right options. Overwhelmed. Yes. Yeah, a lot of overwhelm. Okay. And time taken. Yeah. Okay. Well, Rob, great to see you, Rob. Rob, we're going to cut through that now and we're going to get straight to that point because my role here is to make it easy and affordable because this really is a necessary transformation. Now, one of the things that got me started in this line of work and wanting to help businesses was an experience I had when I was a teenager. So, my dad was a manager of an electrical contracting firm. And the period of time came into a bit of a recession in the UK, and there were just more electrical contracting firms than there was electrical work available. Now, my dad, as the manager of that organization, he didn't necessarily have the skills he needed to navigate people, to navigate his organization through that. And as a result of that, the company went into liquidation, and many families lost their work and their only source of income, my family being one of those. And I think I made a decision back then that I didn't want to ever be in that position. And I wanted to help other people to avoid being in that situation. Now, we're in an interesting time economically. I think we're going to bump into some turbulence. We have, a US president who's, making a lot of waves with his tariffs and his policies. There's lots of talk of recession. So it may be something that we bump into, and we're certainly not going to be immune to it, wherever you are in the world. And I think AI is going to be a way for us through this. Um, how can we actually get through the other side? So I think I want to make sure that you never end up in a position like my dad's electrical contracting business, but you have the ability to navigate whatever's happening in the economy, but also making sure that the AI is here to help you, not something that's going to take over for you. Now, how AI is transforming businesses, I want to give you a quick insight. There's a video here, and there's two people who are experts and kind of at the head of this wave. So Peter Diamandis, if you've ever read his book Abundance, this guy is a very smart guy, and Salim Ismail are the people talking on this, and he's very much ahead of the curve with AI. I want you to hear what they say about what's coming.
You said that the next billion-dollar company will be founded by 3 people. How is that possible?
First, I want to just say that we're living in a different day and age. The ability to start companies today that are exponential, and AI is going to play the biggest role without question, but it's all the exponential technologies. So,
yeah, if you look back in history, maybe 50, 70 years ago, it needed about a 10,000 person company to create $1 billion valuation.
That's crazy.
Then it dropped to about 1,000 people. Instagram was 13 people. Okay? Now we'll get it down to 3 people because AI will handle most of the execution work. You'll have a CEO who will drive vision and product, a product that will focus just on getting things done, and an operations person that will handle everything else. And you should just have AI bots doing all the finances, marketing, et cetera, et cetera.
The inspiring thing on that, a 3-person billion-dollar business, how cool would that be? Wouldn't that be great for that to be your business or your organization? So let's talk about how AI is transforming businesses then. Okay, here are a few key areas. So conversational AIs and chatbots. Okay, so if you're in any type of business, 70% of your 70 to 80% of your day is actually constantly in communication. You're basically speaking to people in somewhere or another, email, text, chat. Okay, this is where the chatbots are going to be able to come in and help take over some of that repetitive stuff. Okay, and get you more, more results in less time. Now, large language models as well are also going to be assisting your processes. A lot of you be familiar with this. I think ChatGPT is the one that's been the most famous. We're seeing more now as well, like DeepSeek. And so these tools are super powerful. People are using them at a low level right now, get it to write emails and things. But actually, large language models are really designed to stimulate human intelligence, and they become very powerful because it allows us to use the technologies to make more powerful decisions and help us give conclusions and do strategy and communicate in ways that we really couldn't before. And so there's really a new challenge that businesses are facing, which is how do they actually train their own large language models? How do we create one of these models on your business? You can imagine how powerful that is if you had a model that knew the ins and outs of your business, what it could do for you. And so this is one thing that's gonna need to be built into for your business. How do we make your own large language models? Okay, and how do we train it on your communication style, your branding, your data? All right, so LLMs. The next one is media content production. Now, basically anyone who's in business these days is a media, content business. You can't really survive without getting media out there and letting people know who you are and what you do. And so building that content can be very time consuming, can be very expensive, but now it's getting done very quickly by AI. And we're seeing some of the tools I'll share with you during today's session. Some of these tools are actually doing it in a much quicker, more effective way, but also getting better conversion, and a higher conversion. I'll show that. Now, the other thing that's really blowing my mind with AI is the level of personalization, how we can actually start giving people their own personalized marketing experiences. One of the guys I interviewed recently on the podcast, his tool just does that. So now you show up to a website, it's just a static page. It's what it is. But AI, what he's building with this tool, AI is going to be able to know who you are as you arrive to the website. It can then tailor everything on that web page in a way that's going to help you convert better because it knows who you are, what your preferences are. So it can change the language, it can change the images, it can change, what's going to motivate you. So we're going to get to a level of personalization that's really going to help conversion, massively. And I'm going to show you some other ways about how we can personalize things, but AI is really helping personalize messages and voice messages and videos and everything. So, and then finally, we're going to talk through complex workflows. How do we automate complex workflows? And be able to automate things that we're doing. There can be a lot of things that are complex and time consuming, data management, data entry, responding to emails, managing conversations, booking meetings. They're all very important workflows. And, from operations to management to marketing to finance, legal, like you name it, we can start automating it. So if you think about in your business, what are things that some of your team do on a regular basis, whatever they're doing on a regular basis, it's stuff that we can look at automating. Now, out of these 5 key areas, which of these 5 areas do you think is going to be the most important for you in your business? Just type in the chat box for me. Which one's going to be the most important? Yeah, Rob. Oh, definitely. We can have a conversation, Rob, around which of those we would start with in your business. Media, definitely. Content, workflows, assisting the processes. Excellent. Okay, great. Then let's get into some of these tools then. Let's start with the conversational chatbots. First, I want to share with you about a tool called Gorgeous. Okay. Now, this is something that helps you automate customer support. Now, this is a platform is primarily targeted for e-commerce businesses, and it centralizes customer communication. So like your email, your live chat, your social media messages, okay, and into a single help desk. So then teams can respond more efficiently. Now, it also integrates with major e-commerce platforms like Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce. So support agents can view order details, process refunds, or update shipping information, without leaving the help desk. Okay, here's another one called Forethought, and it's an AI-driven tool that's helping reduce ticket volume by 87%. Right, this means that any customer service issues or questions or conversations you have, 87% of that is reduced by AI. It's doing a very good job at, triaging and, making solutions for common issues so that they get eradicated. So, yeah, using machine learning to help, support teams, improve things on a much quicker basis. I love this one as well. So meet your AI sales co-pilot. This one is Trade Tech. I've had a client in the US using this particular tool, and what we've been able to do with it is take a warm database, so database of people who didn't quite convert or weren't quite interested, and then we just get the chatbot to start a conversation with them. And the chatbot's role is to build rapport and get them into a call. And we found that this chatbot was doing such a great job. People felt such a deep connection to, the chatbot. They didn't know it was a chatbot. The chatbot called itself Sarah. And so then the people really wanted to speak to Sarah when they got on the phone because they felt like a deep connection. Now, the cool thing about it is using this tool, a prospect started, they switched their language from English to Spanish. The AI didn't miss a beat and it started communicating in Spanish. Now it's pretty cool when you have the flexibility to do things like that. So things like Trade Tech can really help convert those leads. Now, ManyChat is also powerful, and this may be one that you've used yourself already and not even been aware of. So you'll see sometimes when inside of WhatsApp or Messenger or Instagram, someone says type XYZ, to get a copy of this thing, and you type XYZ and then it gets delivered to you. This is just ManyChat in the background. Okay, so it can be sat on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and be responding to people for you as well. Then we have tools like Dante. So Dante is basically you can train the tool on your own company data, okay, and you can then use that data to help personalize your experience. So we basically create these chatbots by getting it to go into learn your company. It learns your company, it learns your website, and of course then these chatbots can be live and ready to go very quickly. And it can give you AI chatbots, AI avatars, and AI voice agents to take calls. I'm going to show you an example of that later in the call about voice agents that are taking calls. It's really quite remarkable what these voice agents can do. So yeah, and the cool thing about this platform is you can train your AI chatbot in 5 minutes, no coding needed. Now, since we're talking about avatars and clones, here is a picture of some clones. I'm going to share with you a video of my client in the US. So this is Alessia. Now, you haven't met her. I don't think anyone on this call has met her, but it looks like her and it sounds like her. It's pretty good. You can tell the difference is not quite her, but just watch this as an avatar.
Hi, this is Alessia Minkus. Artificial intelligence has completely revolutionized the world. In fact, I'm not actually Alessia Minkus. I'm a clone of Alessia Minkus. This process made possible.
Isn't it crazy? So that's just a HeyGen. So the tool is HeyGen, HeyGen. And what you can do in there is you can give it a recording of yourself, maybe 2 minutes. Okay, probably don't need too much longer than that, between 2 and 5 minutes, and then feed it a script and it will just talk like it's you. Okay, now the more video footage you can give it, the better it becomes trained and the closer your voice becomes, and it does it. Now, I've got a team of insolvency agents, okay? And they're not particularly the type of people who want to be on the camera. They're accountants. It's not really their thing, but they do need to put media out to the marketplace. And so what we've been able to do is take existing blog posts and articles that they've written and feed it into HeyGen with their avatar. And then of course we get some good quality video footage that we can put out. So they never need to sit in a studio and record. We can just take, a good 2 minutes. So it's awesome. And yes, Rob, it is me speaking. Or is it? Have I really trained my own AI very well to immediately respond to your chats? So I want to share with you high fidelity humans as well. So I want to see how unbelievable this is and where it's going. So if you take a look at this, you're going to be able to design an avatar to look and, sound exactly how you like. And see, we can immediately take away someone's, facial hair, change the shape of their lips, their jaw, their face, their complexion. And so this is just getting faster and faster. And what I want you to think about is that at some point you may actually be an avatar version of yourself dealing with people. Okay, so right now, I guess to Rob's point, I'm here and I am present, but why couldn't an AI, if it's trained in my knowledge and my experience and on my data set, Why couldn't it be there as my avatar? It probably could respond to you, quite quickly. So it's coming and it's happening. Okay. And it's a few more examples there. Okay, we are doing it right on track. It's pretty powerful, this stuff, what we can do. Now, the other one I mentioned was large language models. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I think this is the area which people are most familiar with and how to play with. Vanessa, yes, Regina is real. Yes, Regina's my assistant and she's helping out let people in. And so she's definitely real. Now, we do have a tool in here that isn't real, though. We have a tool called Fireflies. If Fireflies is showing up today. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So Fireflies comes and joins the meeting and it videos it and it transcribes it and it also sends, a summary at the end. Yeah, Brendan, I've made a decision this week. I'm actually going to fire Fireflies. I'm going to be moving to Fathom, I think is my option. So there's a few different tools. There's Fireflies, there's Otter, and there's Fathom. They're kind of like the main leaders. And what it does is it listens, it transcribes the calls, and it then sends summaries to people at the end of the session. Now, the summaries are pretty good. You can review it and it will tell you, hey, this is what was discussed. These are the actions that were agreed. Additionally, you can go in there and review it. It tells you who spoke the most, what was the rate of speech, was the conversation mostly positive or negative or neutral? So some good analytics there as well. Now, what I think is valuable, thinking about these large language models, is that if we can record all of these conversations we're having and we get our own large repository of data, that then becomes very useful to train our own models in the future. So when you ask if I'm real here, if I train an AI model enough and it understands this, is hearing me do this presentation, enough times, it's, see me, there's no reason why in the future it couldn't actually be a bot, a chatbot doing that. Now, on these large language models, then I think most of you are familiar with ChatGPT, Gemini, Bing, Claude. These are kind of some of the main large language models, and we can get into a little bit more detail of that in a future call. But I think right now, let's give you the the overview. Let's get into media creation. Rob, the problem with transcript programs is if someone turns up late, you're moaning they're late. Yes, that's right. That's right. It keeps you to be in integrity. You don't want to say anything to anyone unless you expect them to hear it. That's right. And of course, if you forget that it's recording you and videoing you, yeah, who knows what else you can be doing? You can be picking your nose and all sorts, and then they get a copy of that video later. So yes, it does keep you more accountable if that bot shows up. So now let's get into a bit of media content creation. Okay, I'm going to show you so many tools. One tool after another can really change the game for you. So if you've never worked with these tools before, they're really going to be helpful. So Jasper is a tool that helps write content for you. Okay, so if you need content on any type of topic, it can knock out some pretty decent topics, a pretty decent copy. Now, the more we can train these models to speak in our voice and our tone, the better. But Jasper is a good place to start. Other media, very often we need pictures or images. So tools like Midjourney can be super valuable for that. I know ChatGPT has this function. I don't always like the quality of the things that come out of ChatGPT. I don't think they're there yet. I find more value with Midjourney so far. And you can see these are just some AI generated pictures on the screen. Maybe 2 years ago when I first started playing with this, I didn't really have a business use for it at the time. I was just playing with it to see. And with my daughters who were 4 and 6 at the time, we wanted to make the cutest creature that didn't exist, and it came up with this. It's is a fluffleberry. Okay, and now I put this picture up on my social media and said this is the world's first genetically modified pet, and we're so excited to have it. And people were like, I want one. How do I get one? They couldn't quite comprehend 2 years ago that this was AI. Right, but it looks pretty realistic, doesn't it? So you can make these images anything you want. Now with the kids, they thought it was a fun thing to do. They wanted to make more and more of these cute creatures, right? And in the end, they end up making so many of these cute creatures. Like you just described random things, and they made so many that we thought we better put it into a storybook. And so we asked ChatGPT to help write a story, and voila, they have a storybook. Now they've put this book online. They've sold it in 3 different countries. So at age 4 and 6, they produced this. They sold in 3 different countries. I probably need to work out how I put the price up, and then I can retire. But if this gives you some inspiration that kids playing with these tools can make products and sell products internationally, it's great. Yeah, Mike, it is great, and I'm going to go through a little bit more detail and show you some business use cases rather than making cute pictures. If you have product-based business, I just asked it to make me a kombucha brand. This is a kombucha bottle. And I didn't quite like, that whatever's on the right-hand side there, a bit of a lime or something. So I could highlight that area and say, turn that into strawberries. And sure enough, then the picture changes and it adds strawberries. And then I could just highlight the label and say, oh, I didn't really like that one, make it blue, right? And it made it blue, or make it rounded and it makes it rounded, or change the color of the bottle. Or I could tell it to zoom out, and it zooms out, zoom out further and it can zoom out further. Okay, so you have a lot of flexibility with Midjourney to ideate and create. And I'll give you an example. I was doing this live in a training, and I said, right, let's make a brand of hot sauce. And so it gave me, I want to use this kind of logo here. I used this logo on the side, and it started making images with a similar, style and branding. And so I like that one, and I said, hey, well, let's change it to call it Kevin. This was a year ago, so it didn't quite call it Kevin, it called it Kevine. So I just ran with it for the fun of it, right? And then say, hey, well, let's change the picture so that make it look hotter, and then make it look hotter, and let's go further, right? And so you can get how quickly we can ideate. I think we came up, this is my brand of hot sauce, right? It took all of 10, 15 minutes to use. Now, copyright issues, Vanessa, is a really good question. I'd love to speak to a good lawyer around this, but what I understand from what I read is that if you create something within these tools, ChatGPT and Midjourney, then they're yours. You're able to use them. However, I want to add a legal disclaimer. I am not a lawyer. It's a gray area. So if there is anyone who is a legal expert on this call who could tell us more about that, I would love to love to hear. But I understand that what you create on there you can use. Now here's some other examples. So there's a picture of this lady in her Nike jacket, and we want to put her in a dress. Okay, so you just highlight that area and say, describe the dress, and it will change it. This one here, we have a picture of a man in sunglasses. Just want to highlight the face and change it to a female. Like, it's done. I had an awkward situation. I was demonstrating this, and I said, "Hey, show me a picture of a group of business owners being taught by a robot." Right, and of course, it put a room full of males. Now, it was very awkward because at least half or three-quarters of the room were women. So I had to quickly highlight that area and say change that area to females, and sure enough, it did. It did it. So there are biases within the AI, but hey, the cool thing with these images is that we can highlight them and change them. Look at this room. So it was a room with just a wall, but we can, from a graphic design, we can remove the wall, change the pot, set it to be in the Mediterranean somewhere. Or we can do specific things like highlight the light. You see the light on the bottom left. We can make it brighter. So just made the light brighter, in that image. We can change the backgrounds very quickly. Same image, but different backgrounds. And I know one of the problems with AI is sometimes it gives people extra digits. So you see on the left, there's only there's an extra finger in there. On the right, it's gone. It's like it never, ever existed. Okay. And then let's keep going then with ad creative. So one of my colleagues, he is a growth hacker. People pay him a lot of money to help create ads that convert. Okay. And he shared with me that he was creating ads, image ads with this particular tool. And he was finding he was getting better conversion from the AI than what he could do himself. So adcreative.ai can help make some very interesting images. Now, one of his businesses that he has is a travel agency. So he was able to start making picture ads for specific travel destinations. Okay. And he was finding that these were converting very well. Now, he's also been playing with a tool called Ideogram. And Ideogram can do a very similar thing for him. So he wanted to make some ad images for, I think it was Mauritius, or Maldives. Yeah, the Maldives. And so that looks pretty appealing. Now, these aren't real people, right? These are just AI images that have been created. Now, he asked the AI to make an image of, a couple in the Maldives on an island. Right, it made this it wouldn't take too long to explore that island, right? It's a tiny little island there. They could probably stand up and they'd be in the water very soon. But 4 nights in Cancun, it looks pretty cool, right? So there you go. Vanessa, I'm not sure I understand your question. Have you been able to place your product into these programs? Perhaps if you clarify. Yes, so if you have your own product, you can upload it. So into Midjourney, you can give it your link and upload it. And what you can do is you can even do things like blend things. So you can go down the route of just for the fun of it, I put a picture of my buddy and Rocky Balboa, and you say blend, and then all of a sudden your buddy looks like Rocky Balboa, right? But if you want to put your product in there and start editing your product, yes, you certainly can. You can go in there and hone it. So yes, I think that was your question. Let's talk about other tools then. In terms of avatars, Synthesia is another one. So I mentioned HeyGen before. HeyGen can take your image and your video and make an avatar of you. Synthesia does something slightly different. It gives you existing avatars of people. And so you can feed them your scripts and then they can talk, on your behalf. So Synthesia is another place you can play with. We've also got this one, so Deep Brain. So Deep Brain allows you to insert your script and it will do professional grade videos using AI avatars and voiceovers and various multimedia elements. So, yep. Let's also talk about another video one then. So check out this one here. So we're just going to type, this is Runway. So you can type in two professionals shaking hands in a downtown scene and look how quickly it makes that. Now, you can tell it's not perfect yet. That car does something weird in the background. It kind of disappears in between their legs somehow. I'm not quite sure what happens there. But you can see how quickly it gets created. So you can pull in an image in here. Maybe you made an image in Midjourney and you can pull the image in and then the image will, can get brought to life with your script as well. Now, other tools like this, we're seeing some pretty amazing things. Oh, yeah, Rob. So Midjourney, is it free or paid? I think you can have a free trial. I know when I first started using it 2 years ago, there was a free trial for, it might have been 20 days or 30 days, something like that. It is a nominal fee. I think I probably paid 150 or $200 for the year to use it. So yeah, so there's normally a nominal fee with these things, but not crazy for the amount of images that you can get out of it. I think you'll probably pay yourself back. Now, VO2, which is a DeepMind tool, are doing some pretty impressive things in terms of video. And I want you to just check out this next video because it's kind of mind-blowing what's happening.
Everything you're seeing on the screen is completely AI generated. There are no actors, there's no set, there's no movie production company. Everything is made using AI. No special effects of it. And it's all using one AI tool to generate movie trailers that beat Hollywood now.
Isn't that crazy? Wouldn't you be scared if you were a Hollywood actor right now or, an editor? Because if you can create these types of videos, imagine you're going to be able to create your own videos on demand, right? Rather than waiting years for someone to produce a video that you want or a movie that you want, you can make your own. How cool is that? Oh, thanks, Rob. Hey, so that's the pricing. So it looks like you can do it from 7, 14, or 28 a month. So, or even for free. So thank you. Great research. So, but yeah, how cool is this? How cool is the video technology? Imagine you want to start making promotional videos for your business. The technology is there. Now, it's not necessarily at the standard that we can, fully use right now, but if we dismiss it and don't keep practicing with it, then within a period of 6 months, 12 months, we could really be missing out. So I think embracing these tools. Now, you wonder if you're going to make a video, what do you say? How do you get a script? Well, there's tools for that as well. You can use something like veed.io, so VEED, and you could type in a sentence of what you want the vibe of the videos to be like, what you want the format to be, and it goes ahead and creates a video script for you as well. Now, whilst we're on the topic of videos, I'm not necessarily a technical person. I certainly don't want to sit there for hours and edit podcasts or edit videos. But this next tool is one of my favorite AI tools. It's been very, very powerful for my business and for my clients. And it's a tool called Descript. Now, actually, I'm not going to give you an introduction. I'm going to do a video and then I can tell you about my experience of it afterwards. So yeah, just enjoy this video.
So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of like non-chicken nuggets. So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope. Let's boost that sound quality. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope. Non-chicken nuggets. Non-chicken nuggets. But they're made to emulate the taste of vegan nuggets. Sounds tasty.
How cool is that? I really love the way that Descript works. So for me, I've been able to shoot my long form video interviews with amazing, thought leaders and leaders all around the world. And then I want to make promotional clips of them. Now, it's very easy for me to make a promotional clip because all I do is once I upload my video into Descript, it makes a transcript. And then I copy the bit that I want and delete the rest. And so then that bit is the bit that stays. It's just so easy. I don't need to be anything clever with editing. I just edit based on the text. And then it very easily allows me to put in B-roll footage, put in music, to put in subtitles to make it look on brand for me. And so within 5 or 10 minutes, you can make a very powerful, very powerful videos. The other thing is, it's quite interesting. Once a tool like that transcribes you, and you can see the number of times you say, I say, a lot. I didn't realize I say, a lot. Apparently I do. When I'm trying to think, I go, And so it was very easy to go in there and press with one button, all those filler words, it identifies them as filler words, and you click one button and they're gone. It's like you never said them. It's like it never happened. So it can really polish up your videos as well. So now, because of that, I was able to make a higher volume of these reels, pump them up onto YouTube and TikTok. And within a period of 2 months, I had something extra like a 50,000 more video views than I had before. So these tools, I'm super excited by them. Now, the other thing is we can also look at, hey, well, maybe you need to be making more audios, but you don't have time to speak them out. Or maybe you don't even want them in your voice. You prefer a different voice. We've got tools like ElevenLabs. So ElevenLabs, and I'm going to show you a quick example here.
This is perfect if I want to create an audiobook to publish or sell.
This is perfect if I want to create an audiobook to publish or sell.
So notice we can change voices, but even
I
languages.
fuoricampo di ieri non vincono le partite di oggi.
And then we do Swedish.
Den som inte riskerar något riskerar ännu mer.
So it has lots of pre-trained voices that you can use and pre-trained languages you can use. Additionally, you can upload your own voice. So if you give it enough samples of your own voice, you can then give it the script and it will read it out like you read it. So if you have a book or something of that nature, you want to turn into an audiobook, you can use tools like this. Now, you need to get permission if you're using anyone's voice. You need to have their permission because this technology, it's so clever. You could go and upload Richard Branson's voice or Elon Musk's voice, and it would then sound like they were speaking, right? It really articulates it very well. Now, just legal, don't do that unless you have people's permission. But you can certainly use it for that. Now, the translation, I'll show you some examples of translation later. It allows you to just dub over existing videos as well. So if you have courses you sell in one language, you could potentially turn them into voices for other languages. Let me also share this one with you then. So daily.ai, this is a tool that's designed to help you get higher conversion from your email. So if you do email marketing, then it studies what you're putting out and helps you make changes to increase your conversion rate. So daily.ai. Now, this one's probably a bit more for fun. So there's face swapping technology. Again, this is probably just for examples. I don't have Tom Cruise's permission to use his image, but he's never won an Oscar. So I want to make it like he'd won an Oscar. And you can see what happened here. I took the image of Kate Winslet with her Oscar and then said, hey, make it Tom Cruise's face. And sure enough, it did. I'm not finding a commercial use of this yet, but I thought you'd find it fun. That was possible. It was, great for Secret Santa at Christmas. My friend, drew her father-in-law. So it was fun to go and find lots of weird images of people and just put his face over the top of them. So in one image, he's like the gladiator. Next image, he's like Crocodile Dundee. And so for a bit of fun. Now, if you are still dating, or you want to make yourself look better, you can get ripped very fast using technology like this. Or if you have a really hot body and, you know, not a great face, you can borrow someone else's face like like this guy's done. So now, so the ladies will like that one, and the gents, here's one for you. So this is an AI generated model called AI Tana, and she has 200,000 Instagram followers and reportedly makes around $11,000 per month with brand deals. Now, there are people who are making faceless YouTube channels, and it's possible, I guess, you can have an AI's face, you know, an AI even doing the videos for you now. And there's, you know, a lot of technology available for this. So tools like Stable Diffusion, you know, using Midjourney and OpenAI, Sora as well. So if you're not the kind of person who wants to be front and center on the camera, you don't need to. Now, I think people are getting more and more interested in these niches. One gentleman I spoke with out of Israel, he was an expert in this, and he was making these different AI avatars, and they were each having their own following. And so he built one, an AI model that had Down syndrome, and it was he was using that tool as a way to raise awareness for people with Down syndrome, and it got a massive following because it was a very clear niche. So if you have a specific niche or specific angle, you can certainly be doing this as well. Now, who needs more headshots for their business? Who would like some new professional pictures? I've got 3 here, and 2 of them are AI, and one of them is real. So I wonder if you can tell me, out of these 1, 2, and 3, which one is real? So give me a type in the chat box, which one is real? And I know some of you on the call played this game with me already. So so 1, 2, so you think 2 is real. Mike thinks 3 is real. I'd love to have a headband like that, Mike, but unfortunately I don't. So anyway, I'm tricking you because they're all AI. But the point I want to make about this is I put this up on my Facebook group, and no one picked it. Well, actually, I say no one. One brother picked it. All the rest of my family, all the rest of my friends, you know, were convinced that these were real pictures. But so only one person picked it. Now, how did I do this? There's a tool I'm going to share with you, and all you do is you take quite a few selfies, and from the selfies it can then put you in different backgrounds, different scenes. So it put me inside of a jet, like a private jet. There was one with me by a lake. There was one with me that made me, it was a bit of a cross between me and James Bond. So you knew it was me, but you could also see it looks a bit like James Bond. It was a little bit weird. So it has all these different options. You can do cartoon versions for you as well. So if you need new headshots, you don't necessarily need to go and spend a fortune with a photographer. You can use tools like profilepicture.ai. I think it's relatively inexpensive. I think I paid some like $12 or something, and it gave me a heap of different pictures. These pictures look so good. I've had clients do it, and then, you know, they put it, you know, as their photo on their signature, etc., and no one knows that it's not them. It is AI, and it allows you to swap clothes. You know, you're in blue and you prefer it to be red or yellow. Great, you can change it. So profilepicture.ai is one I've used. And Brendan, you're on the call. I know you told me dreamwave.ai was one that you liked. So either profilepicture.ai or dreamwave.ai. Yeah, Brendan's voting for that one, so that's good. Now, let's get into a bit of personalization. There's so many different ways we can personalize things. I want to share with you this one called, I don't know whether Suno or Sono. And what it does, it allows you to make your own music. Okay, so you could put your lyrics in there, you could pick the different style of music, and it makes a song for you, and in seconds, right? It really just takes no time at all. Again, I experiment a lot with this, and one of these that, actually, Brendan, since you're still talking on the topic of profile pictures, you were great at the last event. You managed to take a picture, make one of these pictures with the tools, and actually even implement some customization to it as well. So I was going to ask you, which tool did you use? Were you a ChatGPT or did you use something else for that one? Anyway, so distracted. Back to Suno. It allows you to ChatGPT, awesome. It allows you to make up music and songs. I was playing with this with my daughters again, and one of them made this amazing dance track. Actually, we really enjoyed it. It really could have been made by one of these international DJs. It kind of had the hook, and it sounded cool, and it was pumping. The other one used it to, she's been nagging me for a puppy for a year and a half now. So she made a song about, I want a puppy. And so she plays it to me all the time. So now, in a work context, I was able to use it just to make some fun at this recent mastermind event, where Brendan was. I was able to just give it, using ChatGPT to make a song, make a script, and then paste it into here, and then it picked the type of music. And I'll give you like a 10, 20-second example. Is it going to work?
Winning the show all big with the business dream. Brendan's here with the digital marketing scheme. Louise says Visa props, I got your friend. She'll get your cousin in from Belgium by the weekend.
I won't play the whole lot, but you can imagine in a room full of, we had like 14 of us there, for it to be able to go through one by one on each person and make a bit of a song and a bit of a, you know, something unique about their business, people in the room would be like, wow, like how do you do that so fast? Because you imagine how long it would take to write a song, produce a song, get the music. So yeah, it can be a very fun way to engage with people. Now, we mentioned ElevenLabs before, and I showed you how you could use it to get different voices. I want to show you one more example of how you can dub over videos and make them into different languages. So on this video here, hey, this is Kevin Bees. I'm just going to scroll through much of this video just for the purposes of time. But what you can see on the screen is you have the ability to pick which target language you want. And there's like a significant amount of languages. And you can either pull a video in from YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Vimeo, or another URL, or you can just upload the video. Now, once you do it and you picked your language, I'm just going to scroll through a second. I want to show you this version here. So this is my friend Christo. Now, he's is Australian, or my friend and client, he's as Australian as they come, but he was talking about Google and how to use, make Google ads, I think. And we said, hey, well, let's make this into German. So I'm going to play it here.
Just watch what happens for him.
Hallo Kleinunternehmer, ich habe eine Marketingstrategie für Sie, die Sie erhalten werden. Mehr Besucher auf Ihrer Website und tatsächlich qualifiziertere Besucher auf Ihrer Website.
How cool is that? What I love about it is it does not only the German words, but it sounds like his voice. It genuinely sounds like him. You would think that was him. It's his tone of voice as well. So we can use those things. Let me share with you. The other one I want to share with you was Wordly. Okay, so I'm talking about translations here. If I had an international audience on this call, they could be using Wordly and it could be translated into the language like instantaneously, right? So if anyone wants to listen in Italian or Spanish or German, great. It will translate my, my voice straight away. So, okay. Alrighty, we are doing well. Yeah, thank you for staying with this. There's a lot here in a short period of time. I'm going to get into the complex workflows, which was the last section on this. Now, I know for a lot of us, we need to do things like create, standard operating procedures, build training documents, do onboarding of new hires. And creating training documents can be laborious and take time. Now, there's a tool called Scribe How. So Scribe How. And what it does, it can follow what you're doing on the screen and then make it into a step-by-step. So as an example, I've got one here. I have clients frequently, because I can review their numbers and help them work out their financial strategy. I need access to their Xero accounts. And it's a bit painful to sit there and tell them every time, click here, click here, click here. But I did it once in a demo, and look, you can see what it does. It highlights, click settings, click users, click invite user, put in your name here, click business and accounting, click it should be read only, click send invite, done. So I can send that out, every single time someone needs to give me access to Xero. It's like, oh, here you go. Here, if you don't know how to do it, here's how you do it. And it just saves them queries and issues. But you can imagine anything that you're doing on the screen, you can just track it and follow it and show a step-by-step version. So Scribe How can be quite powerful. The two other tools that I want to share with you in terms of automation then is things like Zapier. Zapier can be very helpful to help with these complex workflows, to just do them step by step. Now, what I love about automation is prior to the AI stuff really taking off, automation was quite dumb. It was a bit of if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. But now with AI, it can put some thinking in the middle, right? So if this happens, then AI can do some thinking and some analytics, and then it can direct to the next thing. So having tools like Zapier can really help us, improve our automations, right? And tools like Make is the other one. Okay, so now let me give you a few examples on this. I'm going to play an example on the screen. This is going to show you how easy it can be to connect Gmail to ChatGPT, so ChatGPT can start doing draft emails for you. But whilst it's doing that, you see you can click add this node. But I want you to think about some other ways you can use this, right? You can use this to automate lead follow-ups. So when a lead fills out a form, send them a personalized email, right? That could be a combination of Zapier and OpenAI and Gmail. or we can use it for invoice payment reminders. So we can connect your QuickBooks and Xero, with Twilio for SMS, Gmail, or we can use it for social media posting to, schedule and also post content to multiple platforms, such as Canva. We use Canva, Buffer, and Instagram. So anything you're doing where things link together, you can get this in the background to do it for you. Data entry and CRM updates, employee onboarding, AI powered, email categorization. So when emails can help categorize them for you. That's it on complex workflows. AI Explain is probably a little bit more of a complex tool. I won't go into this one into too much detail, but I'd like you to imagine if you had an idea of a tool you wanted to build, here's where you would come, right? You can access like 40,000 plus AI models inside of this one, and it allows you without any coding to start creating your own tool. So if you want to go and create your own AI tool, then AI Explain would be a good place to go and have a play. Alrighty, now, so how is this AI getting implemented then? So we've got a lot of off-the-shelf tools that we've spoken through today. We can build custom tools and custom workflows, and using some of the automation we spoke about. We can build custom tools, custom chatbots, clones, apps. And then the other way is training the team. So helping them with their skills and with their mindset. So these are really the four key ways that we can get entered. Now, how or where is AI being implemented in your business? Marketing and lead gen and business development, right up there. Sales and conversion. Administration, anything we're doing that we can get AI to do would be a time saver. Customer service, HR and recruiting. We've done a lot with media content today and asset creation. Optimizing our operations. We can use it in finance and accounting, legal and compliance, IT and security, R&D and innovation, and of course with leadership and culture building. Now, with all the things we've gone over today, which of these are the main areas that you would love to use and implement AI with? So if you were to pick one that's the most important area, just type it in the chat box for me. So is it marketing for you? Is it sales? Is it admin? Is it customer service? Is it creating assets? Yeah, Jeff for lead gen, great. Brent, I'm just seeing your response. You're offended no one believed it was you. It was a great picture. Yeah, operations, sales, lead gen, marketing, lead management, content creation. Okay. Yeah, most of them. Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah, Riley, operation optimization, admin, marketing, and sales. Brilliant. Hey, well, out of all of those then, I know I shared so much in such a short period of time. Now, the question I wanted to ask of you is if I could support you for another 12 weeks where we go deeper into this and I show you step by step how to use some of these tools and some of these systems, would that be helpful for you? If you had someone to show you step by step how to do the prompting, how to make that happen, could that be useful? If it could be useful for you, type a yes into the chat box. And whilst you do that, I want to share with you over those 12 weeks, we could go through how we would master the prompt engineering. We can start doing product development using AI. So, working through how we can create products fast, how we do market research, how we can design MVPs. We can also talk about AI-driven content creation. So how to use it to write blogs and emails and lead magnets, how to create books or ebooks, how to get it to do storytelling using, your brand and your voice. How to automate content calendars. We get into social media, so we can generate video scripts and captions, and we can use tools like Pictory and Descript and HeyGen, and how we can create and repurpose reels. So we can do offers and sales pages. So how we can create irresistible offers using AI, and funnel copy templates, and using psychology of conversion prompts. We can do it for marketing strategy as well. So start building marketing plans and funnels and automating lead gen with tools like Jasper and Go High Level and Zapier. And then operations and automations. I think a few of you mentioned that would be really helpful. So using it to help make standard operating procedures, streamlining the team, training and onboarding, and using, how to use AI for hiring and support and documentation. We can get into lead magnets and funnels. So building things like AI quizzes and reports, use AI for the design, and That's cool. And then now for those of you in service businesses, I think we've got a few service-based businesses on here. We can use it to help create your workshops, your courses, your consulting assets. We can leverage AI to serve, how do we serve our clients more effectively? And how do we make custom GPTs and assistant bots? There's plenty of case studies and implementation sessions. I think with this stuff, what's important isn't just teaching it, but making sure we have hot seats and feedback loops so we can implement and learn. And then also in the 12 weeks, I'd love to share future trends and what's coming. Now, if that is interesting to you, I'd love to share this opportunity with you. Now, if you're already a client, I know I've got 2 or 3 of you on the call. The good news for you is because you're already working with me, you will have this gifted to you for free. But for those of you who aren't working with me yet, then I'd like to offer a special deal for you. I'm going to be charging $497 Aussie dollar for this 12-week course. But if you're interested in signing up today and the next 24 hours, I will give you an early bird special. So for the whole 12 weeks, it's a total of $297 Australian dollars. And during that 12 weeks, we're going to go through all of those things I've just mentioned. We'll do it in a way where I teach, but we also get the opportunity to do Q&A as well. So it's not just going to be one way. We'll get the opportunity to interact, because I appreciate with stuff like this, it's going to bring up a lot of questions. So and what I really care about is you implementing this in your business, primarily with the purpose of you increasing your profitability. So for those of you who want to get more revenue and more sales and more leads and more clients, that's certainly where my focus is. So if you want to do that, a couple of ways you can do. Just scan the QR code on the screen there, or click the link that Regina has very kindly put in the chat box.